My name is Tom Allen. I'm the principal cybersecurity consultant at Foresite, and this is Foresite Friday. What is Foresite Friday? Foresite Friday is when we answer your cybersecurity questions, and today we have a great one. The question we got was, what's the best way for me to stay secure when I'm working from home? Great question considering the times, right? Well, let's look at 5 things you can do. The first thing is, how are the attackers going after you at home? Are they going after your firewall or your VPN connection or your internet? No. The main way they're going after you is you. They realize that today's technologies are pretty good, and it's a little bit of a struggle to overcome them to hack you directly. So why don't they just get you to give them access? So the most important thing you could do is be aware. What does that mean? Well, look out for an email, a text, a communication that creates urgency. You need to reply immediately. This is going to expire. We're going to lock your account. Anything like that, very suspicious. Secondly, anything that's too good to be true. You probably didn't win the Jamaican lottery. You're probably not getting a big tax boost that the government's just going to give you if you log onto a website and type in your password. And then finally, even a message from your own contacts could be suspicious. So if they got compromised, you might get an email saying, hey, Joe, this is John in accounting. Hey, I need you to give me whatever it is. So anything that's out of context like that, the key way to protect yourself on all of these things is to be suspicious. So just be suspicious of stuff. So you get an email from Joe in accounting and he says, hey, I need you to do this right away or whatever. What do? You know his number? Call him. Think about it like multi-factor authentication. Find another way outside of the communication you got to verify that it's valid. How do you do that? Well, like I said, you call someone. Another thing to do is if, say, you get an urgent thing, call the vendor. If you say, DHL has a package for you, pick up the phone, find DHL's number, call them. Just whatever you do, don't reply to that message because that's how they get you. If they've compromised someone else's email or if you're replying to them directly, they just go, yeah, this is valid. So you're really not validating it. It's really not multi-factor, right? It's the same single factor. So just be suspicious and validate. Those are the 2 critical things. Second way that you can protect yourself at home. Most of us have Wi-Fi routers at our homes, right? So we're on a Wi-Fi network. How is that password to that network set up? First of all, make sure it's WPA2, not WEP, because WEP is easy for the most basic script kiddie hacker to crack. So make sure it's a passphrase, make it a nice long secure one, and we'll talk about passwords a little more in the next point. But also, your router came with a default username and password. That means admin password when you first logged into it, if it's Netgear, admin for Linksys, whatever the device is, it has a default. Make sure you change it because otherwise someone could sit outside and just find it and then try to crack it. Go right in there. Now they are able to get on your network. They're able to sniff traffic, so forth, weaken your cybersecurity stance if you have firewall rules, whatever. So default credentials, strong passwords on the home Wi-Fi. The third thing we want to talk about is passwords in general. We all have a lot of passwords for a lot of our stuff, work stuff, whatever it is. If we have passwords, don't leave them in a text file on your computer, because then if your computer gets compromised, all your passwords are compromised. You should use a password safe or some kind of encrypted thing on your computer is one way to do it. Another good way to do it would be to just simply write all your passwords down, keep them locked at your house in your home safe, keep them under lock and key somewhere. And that way you can remember all your passwords. You could go back and reference them if you need them. But the bottom line is don't leave them on your computer. And what is a good password? Well, the best passwords are passwords that are just made up of random characters. 8 star, A lowercase, B uppercase, 7, 3, you know, something that's not a dictionary word, certainly not something that can easily be attributed to you. Your spouse's name, your pet's name, whatever, with a number or something like that. The absolute best is if whatever you're doing allows for a passphrase is to do a sentence. It may not even make sense, but it may only make sense to you. Like, I don't know, anniversary, birth date, in succession, or something only you would know, like the nickname of your child with a date that's important to you, all of that kind of stuff. But the longer and more complex we can make it, and the more random we can make it, the easier it would be for us to remember, plus the harder it would be for the bad guys to hack. The other thing about passwords, do not reuse passwords. So if your password is, I don't know, I hope it's not ABC123, and you use that for your Gmail, don't use that for your bank account. Because what happens is when there's a big breach of all these accounts, say Adobe gets breached and all the passwords and usernames are found in this breach, they're going to do what's called password spraying or credential spraying. They're going to try a ton of other services and web portals with your username and password and hope that one of them sticks because it's a reused password. So you're going to protect yourself better if you use unique passwords for each account or each service that you're logging into. Fourth, patch your stuff. Go do your Windows updates. If an application has an update, do it. Patch your stuff, and don't forget about your Wi-Fi router. Go into your Wi-Fi router every now and then and see if there's a new firmware for it. Most of them today, they'll automatically have it ready for you, and you just apply it. So make sure you patch. Fifth, don't let family and friends use your work devices, phones, computers, whatever it is. Don't do it. When you get up and leave your computer, Windows L, that locks the screen. So there we go. 5 ways that you can work from home as securely as possible. You, be suspicious. Don't just click on things. Don't just enter your credentials anywhere. Second, secure your home network. Good password, default credentials. Passwords themselves, make them complex, make them unique to each service. Don't save them in a text file. Updates, do your updates, patch your stuff. And finally, secure your device. If it's a work device, don't let your family and friends use it for Facebooking or downloading games or things like that. So that's it. Do those things and you will be more secure when you work from home. If you want your question possibly to be used on a Foresite Friday, or just one of our cybersecurity experts to be able to respond to your question, then what we want you to do is send an email to WFH@foresite.com, and we will respond to you and possibly use your question for the next Foresite Friday. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Hope this was helpful.